So I started seeing videos in my YouTube recommendations about black people and the problems with the black community, and in giving them my attention, somehow I ended up on the wrong side of YouTube. And by somehow, I mean clicking on videos made by black creators with blacks in the title. Like, come on, bro. We both know you're getting monetized. In other words, you're not helping. A lot of y'all are just taking things you would say in conversation, recording yourself, and posting it on the internet. Go do some research, go look up some statistics, whatever you have to do. Maybe figure out how to represent our community better. Moving on. Eventually, someone popped up on my feed whose content relates to this topic, a YouTuber by the name of Misha Petrov. Now, I will say, usually, that a white person speaking on black issues is something I tend to stay quiet about in social settings for obvious reasons. But this is the internet. You brought your opinion to the table, and I'm gonna slide it off. And I bring up the fact that she's white to highlight the fact that in some of these clips, she's straight up invalidating some of these people's experiences without even remotely trying to understand where they're coming from. Granted, I'd say most of the things that she's reacting to are the same way anyone with common sense would react. But any clip where she displays even a modicum of common sense is then overshadowed by some bullshit like this.
Is it a microaggression or is a white lady just being nice? A coworker says to me,
The green hair though. She's about to say something really stupid.
"You're running this meeting very well." Mind you, the person who was supposed to run the meeting didn't come. So it could have just been a nice compliment.
No, of course not. She's white. That's racism. Naturally.
What do y'all think? Okay, 3 things. Impact, intent, precision. Would she have felt compelled to say the same thing to a straight white male? We don't know because we can't guess her intent.
It must be exhausting thinking this way. You can't win.
It's not about winning, but yes, it is exhausting thinking this way. And since this section of the video is labeled victim mindset, I'm guessing you're not saying that from a place of understanding. Quite the opposite, actually.
White person says something mean to you. That's racism. White person says something nice to you. That's racism. White person doesn't give you a raise. Obviously racism. White person does give you a raise. Racism. You cannot win.
I did a little bit of research and I found that she is or was a poli-sci major at some unnamed university. Political science is a social science. I would think that you'd have some exposure to at least one sociology class, but considering the fact that you don't understand the concept of microaggressions, at least in relation to race, it looks like either your scheme for your major is weak or you failed sociology.
To be a black person living in America, having all the privileges you do, right? And then also being able to get away with all this nonsense, right? When you're actually being racist.
You are mitigating black experiences because you will never understand what it feels like to be in black shoes. Don't mean that literally. You are very loosely using the word privilege here. That's like me as a grown adult telling a child they can do whatever they want.
And still think that you are a victim. And still think that white people hate you. They naturally hate you.
Socially, it typically stems from anger, fear, or a lack of understanding of others. A good example is like how older generations give Gen Z a hard time despite literally being the reason for their existence. So yes, while there is some semantic malleability in the term naturally, that can and will be proven true pretty much every day until the end of humanity as we know it. And when I say we, you're not included. How does that make you feel? Regardless, hate is a naturally occurring human emotion. Is that not good enough? Do we need to pull up every justification for slavery? Do I need to define white fragility for you? What is it? What's making you so upset? Are you in denial or something? Like, nothing this lady said in the video was incorrect, and it clearly struck a nerve in you because you lack self-awareness. You just go and validate everything she's saying, even though fundamentally it makes more sense than everything you're saying in response.
You believing that even though you have these things ingrained in the foundation of who you are.
Right, internalize racism. Yeah, even if you don't think you're racist, you're racist. Got it.
Wow, I'm really starting to doubt that you ever stepped foot in a classroom after high school. Now that clip that I just showed y'all of her misdefining internalized racism was of her reacting to some lady who's giving a $6,000 course teaching white women not to be racist, which if you're racist, you're cooked. I'm sorry, it's an ongoing illness. Is one of the clips that I said was pretty valid. Like, what she was saying in response made a lot of sense. But in a lot of these, it's just the way that she goes about responding that's a problem for me.
The question is just for white women today.
The question is, why y'all be doing that fake smile? Why do y'all half smile at us? You don't have to smile at all. You can just walk past. That's still respectful. That's still polite to not address a person. But y'all do this little smile, and then we can see
I think she forgot to take her meds.
Yeah, kind of like how you forgot to make sense.
out of the corner of our eye. We can see the smile drop as soon as you pass us. We see it.
Are you insecure? Do you hate yourself? Because I don't understand.
Well, yes, you've proven time and time again that you don't understand a lot of things. So let me spell it out for you.
You can't just see people as people. You have to immediately notice their race. Maybe they should just go like that. Would that make you happy? What would make you happy?
Die. I'm kidding.
I mean, do you want a red carpet every time you walk on the street? Oh, a black person, quickly. You need to do the work.
Stop. Do the work. Put in the work.
You have internalized racism.
Wow, I just cringed. Listen, I'm gonna put this in layman's terms for you. Internalized racism is when you see racism toward you until you feel it toward yourself. I honestly think that, like, in this video, among many other videos, I just feel like these people didn't properly articulate their sentiments. But the level of condescension is real nonetheless. That's why I'm here to return the favor.
Giving me that fake smile. And I know it's because you think I'm inferior. Girl, take your meds.
Assuming someone is mentally ill because their perspective doesn't make sense to you, especially given your position in society,
I can double down on that line, but spare you this time,
is excessive. White people don't have to code switch the way black people do. Some don't have to do it at all. And if they do, it's like how you would speak in a business setting versus how you would talk to your friends or to a teacher or something. Even then, the only thing that really changes is tone. The vernacular stays the same. For black people, there's more of a necessity. Our language of choice in black spaces is AAVE. And to communicate with white people, we have to use standard American English, feeling like you have no other choice but to adhere to someone else's communication style is very uncomfortable. But we do it for your comfort, and we do what we can to make it through these interactions without any issue. And if it bothers us, we talk about it, whether that be in private or on the platform. And whether or not you understand it, people are allowed to express how they feel. You don't dictate what does and doesn't make sense. Society does. Logic does. Okay? Like, how many of these people's experiences are you going to come out here and ridicule for your own gain?
Hey, no hate, but why can't a white person do this? I have had box braids, dreads, and the afro bubble ponytail. Nothing happened.
One of the weirdest arguments that white people make on a regular basis. Because white people will just blatantly disrespect us when a black voice is literally telling you, like, hey,
Oh, literally?
don't do this. And then you're just like, why? I do it all the time and nothing happened. Like, what do you mean nothing happened? Like, do you mean nobody beat your ass? Like, do we need to assault you in order to give us basic human respect?
No, but thanks for exposing yourself and letting us know what you really want to do. I want you to think about how ridiculous that sounds.
Yes, that's the point of a hyperbole. Now what you're missing is why the hyperbole was used. The question was, what do you mean nothing happened? The hyperbole was used to further emphasize the question.
Do we need to assault you? Do we need to beat your ass to get basic human respect?
Do you mean nobody put their hands on you?
Because of braids.
The question is, what is supposed to happen when you go out culturally appropriating? What is supposed to happen? Nothing. But that doesn't make said culture any less uncomfortable when they see it.
White people are not only so used to being included everything, but also us literally accommodating for them. And y'all wonder why I say keep black spaces black.
Keep black spaces black. And I bet she doesn't think she's racist.
You probably don't think you are either.
And now let's talk about the N-word.
Here we go.
And even if you have a pass, let's say, to use this word, I don't think it's really necessary. Like, on one hand, yeah, it's a word, you can say it. You also will have to face the consequences in hip hop and rap songs, right? If someone's singing along, is that considered racist? I think that's a different scenario than someone using it specifically to try and offend black people.
So say it. Say it with Drake, matter of fact.
Maybe in this song, you shouldn't start by saying...
Some video of mine seems to have upset members of a certain community.
Black people.
And all the backlash just really made me, just really do a deep dive, like do a soul search. And after all that, I still couldn't find a care.
So I'm not gonna lie, her apology was pretty satisfying because we don't often see people kind of troll the left in that way when they are...
And I bet she doesn't think she's racist.